Hi there, I'm Deb Rousehorn, and I'm the product manager for the Mini brand in Canada. I'm here today to give you an introduction to the Mini Clubman, show you all of the features, functions, and benefits it has to offer you. Did you know that the Mini Clubman is actually the very first Mini model in Canada to compete in the compact car segment rather than the subcompact car segment? What does that mean for you? It means that this Mini has a lot more to offer in terms of comfort, convenience, and cargo capacity than the word Mini might otherwise imply. Let's kick things off with the exciting stuff. Let's talk power and performance. So the Mini Clubman is available in 3 different engine variants. We start things off with the Cooper Clubman, which uses a 3-cylinder twin-power turbo engine to produce 134 horsepower, 162 pound-feet of torque. Take things up a notch to the Cooper S Clubman, which uses a 4-cylinder twin-power turbo engine, producing 189 horsepower and 207 pound-feet of torque. Then we reach the pinnacle, the fastest Mini engine, the John Cooper Works Clubman, which features a 4-cylinder twin-power turbo engine, 228 horsepower, and a whopping 258 pound-feet of torque. So if you take these turbo-powered engines with lightweight body materials, a low center of gravity, wheels pushed out to the 4 corners, it's no wonder that Minis gain the reputation for go-kart-like handling. Let's take a look at some of the exterior design elements. The Mini face absolutely is unmistakable and identifiable in general, but the Clubman adds a little bit of flair. It adds some strongly sculpted styling to the front fascia with lots of air intakes for brake cooling, so quite functional. As we go around the perimeter of the car, I'm going to point out a lot of chrome elements which add a nice sort of premium touch to the exterior design, such as the one-piece chrome grille surround. So optional LED headlight system offers you LED lighting technology for your daytime running light, your high and low beams, as well as your fog lights. Let's swoop around to the side of the car. The first thing that your eye is drawn to is the strongly sculpted air breathers, which allow for efficient airflow through and over the wheels rather than air getting caught up in the wheel well. So it's an efficiency measure that actually looks really nice as well. Again, with a chrome element, we call this the waistline trim finisher, which draws your eye to the rear of the car and draws your eye specifically to the full-size rear doors, which is quite the nod or the hint to the fact that this truly is a compact car competitor with seating for 3 in that back seat. Again, if we follow the strong sculpted shoulder line, we come to the rear of the design. I would have to say that the rear end of the Mini Clubman is probably the most iconic in terms of design features. If you look at all of the different elements and their positioning, such as your large chrome door handles horizontally opposed, the positioning of the horizontal taillights, even the badging, everything is intended to draw your eye very low and wide to accentuate the wide stance that the Clubman has. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the rear split doors, very iconic to the Clubman model. This is your gateway to a lot of cargo capacity. You can access the cargo space in one of 3 ways. 1, of course, with the chrome door handles. 2, with the click of your key fob. Or 3, if equipped with the comfort access system with a swift kick under the rear bumper for true hands-free, convenient access. Once in the rear cargo space, it opens up to 360 liters, and that's with the rear seats in there for a car of this size. This flat load floor is a really nice feature that allows you to tuck away any valuables or things that you want to keep out of sight or out of the way. You know, we've actually had people tell us that when they have a dog in the family that they like to travel with, they oftentimes keep the dog bed under here, so when Fido's with them, he has his own little condo back here, but when he's not with you, you can tuck away all of his furry bits so they don't travel with your personal belongings. Now, the standard configuration of the rear seats is a 60-40 folding seat back. This is equipped with the optional 40-20-40, which offers you a lot in terms of options for loading your cargo. You could drop down the center piece, the center 20%, for what we call the through load system if you were loading things like snowboards, skis, hockey sticks, even curtain rods. Or you can fold down one or both of the rear seats as well to gain access to the full 1,250 liters. So the Clubman certainly offers a lot in terms of options and how you configure your cargo area. So let's take a look at the back seat and see what the passengers have to look forward to. The rear seat flips up easily and snaps into place. So as I mentioned before, these larger rear doors really make getting in and out of the car quite easy. And once you're in, it's quite easy to see that there's certainly a lot of space for up to 3 adults, of course, even for longer road trips. The Mini pays great attention to detail to creative use of space. And one thing that the engineers did with this new model was they created a new back seat of the front seats to help with ergonomics in the back. So we see this scoped or cutout element of the back seat allows for a lot more knee room, and they've even paid attention to the rear cutout of the bottom of the base, so there's plenty of room to tuck your feet under if you do have longer legs. One of the nice things that Mini does is any of the trim elements that you've chosen to customize your interior from the front follows through into the back, and you'll see all of those trim elements on the back doors as well. You even have air vents for heating and air conditioning if the dual zone automatic climate control is equipped on the car, so your rear seat passengers have the same climate control systems. And I have to mention the panorama sunroof, which really lets in a lot of light back here, makes for a really open, spacious feel in the back. Let's jump up to the front seats and see what those passengers have to look forward to. So the front seat's where it really all comes together, and I think we can say that the interior is really the most refined space that we have in the Mini lineup. So the Clubman features a lot of new technologies and new design layout. First of all, if you pay attention to some of the soft touch materials, a lot of the chrome and trim finishes, and then we take it to another level of all of the customization aspects. So we have all of the trim finishers, color line choices. You can choose between designs of steering wheels, even the upholsteries, and we see here the Chester leather with diamond pattern stitching. Really a nice touch and really allows you to customize the interior of your Mini exactly how you want it. The optional electric seats and the full tilt and telescope steering wheel make it certain that any driver will find the perfect seating position. The electric parking brake also cleans up a lot of the cargo area here. In the center console, we now have larger cup holders and much more storage, so much more comfort and convenience. If we take a look at the dash setup, there's a really unique feature in the Mini Clubman, and that's this center ellipse that really surrounds the entire dash. What it does is it draws your eye to the width and reminds you just how much comfort and shoulder room there is in this passenger compartment. Now the Mini Clubman is equipped with a 6.5-inch screen as standard with Mini Connected and Bluetooth functionality. But this model here is equipped with the full 8.8-inch 3D navigation, which also includes an enhanced center controller, which actually recognizes your handwriting with the tip of your finger, so it gives you lots of options for inputting addresses or phone numbers. The center console features all of your climate control settings with lots of very Mini-like toggle buttons to press and a lot of chrome treatment to add that nice premium touch. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my favorite feature of the Mini Clubman, our Sport and Green mode. So these are driving modes that you can select while you're driving to enhance. For one, if you flipped into Sport mode, your steering tightens up, your throttle becomes more sensitive. You can even adjust the suspension if equipped with the optional dynamic damper control. So that's it for the interior. Let's step outside, take one last chat about safety before we wrap this up. So the Mini Clubman looks at safety in a couple of different ways. We look at safety in terms of active safety or passive safety. So active safety features are any features that will help you avoid an accident. So things like dynamic stability control or DSC. This system is constantly monitoring your trajectory of travel, oversteer or understeer, and it will actually use two different systems to help keep you on track. So one, the engine management system will actually depower the engine, or two, the braking system will actually grab at each individual brake as necessary to swing you back onto your intended path. The new driver assistance system is actually a camera-based system, camera is featured right here, that's constantly monitoring objects in front of you and the speed at which you're traveling. It will warn you of any impending forward collision. It will warn you either audibly, visually, and eventually will actually brake for you. And of course I have to mention Mini's all-4 all-wheel drive system, which is constantly monitoring wheel slip at all 4 corners and will send power from the front to the rear axle to keep you with full traction in all weather conditions. The other end of the spectrum is passive safety. Passive safety features are those that will help protect you in the event of an accident. Things like airbags, which the Clubman has 8, so full 360 protection for all passengers. Well, that's just a tidbit of all the information that we have to share with the Mini Clubman. So thanks for watching, and I invite you to visit your local Mini retailer, get behind the wheel, and try one out for yourself.